Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to NIK NIKAM Network Talk Show. I am Dr. NIK NIKAM, and we have a fantastic program here. This program is being live video streamed to YouTube and also Google+. While we are talking about YouTube, we would like you to visit our YouTube location, which is NIK NIKAM, that is NIK NIKAM, where we have more than 700 videos accenting our Indian experience here in the Houston area. My special guest today needs no introduction, just like the President of the United... Hold on once. Okay, my special guest today does not need introduction, just like the President of the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss America 2014, Nina Davuluri. Welcome to NIK NIKAM Network Talk Show. We are delighted to have you. We're delighted to have you. Okay, let's start off with a little bit about your background.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I can start telling you about myself.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yes.
All right, great. So originally, I was born in Syracuse, New York. My grandparents raised me in India, in the small town of Vijayawada for about 2 years. My first spoken language was Telugu. When I moved back, my family moved to Oklahoma for about 7 years. And then from there, we moved to Michigan. So I graduated from University of Michigan. And
in what subject?
My degree was in brain behavior and cognitive science. And deviated a little from that now. I'll be pursuing my MBA after this.
So that's a beautiful. Give us a little overview of your journey from the first contest you entered to the time you are crowned Miss America USA.
Yes, it was certainly a journey. So I actually started competing for scholarship money.
Oh, I see.
My parents were very generous enough to pay for a portion of my education.
Yeah.
But I also knew that I had to fund a significant portion of that. And so through that, competing in the Miss America organization for about almost 2.5 years, I competed. I earned a little over $92,000.
That's interesting.
Is it interesting? Because I think it's great.
Yeah.
And so with that money and the help of my parents, I graduated debt-free from the University of Michigan.
Oh, that's great.
And I have about $60,000 left to pursue my graduate degree.
That's fascinating because I spent a couple of years in the Henry Ford Hospital in Detroit, Michigan.
Yes.
I did cardiology training there. Okay, when they crowned Miss America, what was going through in your mind?
It's funny because it's one of those moments that you dream about and you hope that you get there, but to actually have it happen is very surreal to put into words.
Yeah.
And I will be honest, I'm still waiting for that moment to say, oh my gosh, did that happen? Is it really real?
You just came and went?
Because the thing is you don't wake up feeling any different. The next day, I didn't wake up feeling, like any other person. I still felt like myself, Nina Davuluri, and I'm proud to be that person.
That's interesting. Did you realize when they crowned, you were representing 350 million people in addition to making more than 1 billion people in India happy?
I don't think so. I remember walking in, to the competition and thinking that wanting to be the first Indian American Miss America because that meant something. And it reached out to a new demographic of young people that's so representative of what America is today. To the extent of what the scope that I was able to reach, no, I could have never imagined that. But I'm so grateful, and I'm so grateful for the support.
Oh, absolutely. I read somewhere that as soon as you became Miss America, they give you a business card. What does your business card say?
Actually, they do not. So, yes, they do not give you a business card. As Miss America, you are not allowed to have a business card, actually. So I did not have one.
Oh, that's
interesting. I do have one now.
I see.
And if you're curious to know, it says Nina Davuluri, speaker and advocate, because that's who I am. I think it's wonderful that the title Miss America has allowed me to, have a voice as a speaker.
Yeah, in fact, we're going to get in depth into, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching a Triple N talk show, and we are coming to you live on YouTube and also Google+. And my special guest is Miss America 2014, Nina Davuluri. Okay, let's talk about what are some of the challenges you faced going through all these various contests, and maybe you can share some insight into how you turn those challenges into more a positive aspect.
Sure. Well, I guess I can touch on specifically the competition aspect of it, because obviously there certainly were challenges. I competed for the title of Miss New York twice. The first year I was second runner-up to Mallory Hagan, who went on to win the title of Miss America, representing the state of New York. And I remember people telling me, you know, Nina, if you're really serious about winning Miss New York or winning Miss America, change your talent because Bollywood will never win. And that's, you know, and that's something that, you know, be more American, not Indian. You have to be, if you want this title, you have to be more marketable.
I see,
And for me, what it came down to is that I grew up a singer, and
I see,
I can also sing, not as well as I can dance.
What language?
Yeah,
Telugu?
both.
Hindi?
Both.
Oh,
Yes, you know,
yes.
I like to be a jack of all trades.
That's great.
And I remember saying, you know, regardless of what people tell me, especially in those challenges and in those defining moments, you know, Indian dancing, I grew up a classically trained Bharatanatyam Kuchipudi dancer. It was a part of who I was. And if I was going to win this title, it had to be in my terms and in my way.
That's fascinating. And what lessons have you learned from all these competitions that may be of use to some young ladies who may be aspiring just like you are?
Yeah, definitely to be yourself. And I know that's so much easier said than done. But to know who you are, love who you are, and stand up for who you are.
That's fascinating. And did you have to take any special training for the contest itself, besides your regular training we had in music and dance and all this?
No special preparation. I mean, obviously, you know, this is I mean, I will always say that I've been preparing to be Miss America my entire life. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen in a year. It's literally a lifetime of preparation to do this job, because it is a job.
I know.
You have to be able to relate to people from kindergartners to, you know, businessmen, CEOs, senators, and literally the president of the United States.
That's
I mean, I've been in those rooms, and to be educated, to be well-spoken, to be well-rounded, it's not something that you learn in the matter of a year or two. It's something that you build upon your entire life.
And in fact, you know, I saw one clip where you talk about the President Barack Obama's visit to White House. Share this with us. How was that?
Yes, it was quite incredible. I was actually there on behalf of Children's Miracle Network Hospitals, an incredible organization that I've been able to partner with and work with, and every year we work with them. And they provide care for every child, regardless of their sickness or illness. Whatever they're going through, their treatment is covered by CMN hospitals. And they also step in where insurance does not cover.
I see,
So they really are a great organization. That being said, every year they actually do a tour at the White House. I was able to be a part of that tour. And you get very close to these families and these children who are still undergoing their treatments. And so I remember I was there with about 50 children and their families. All their parents and siblings were able to come to the White House, and President Obama came out and spoke and had a few wonderful, you know, question and answer session with the children. And you know, he came in, and then after the Q&A, he came in and he was staged to take a picture right next to me. And so he stood next to me and he said, "Oh, Miss America, congratulations. We're so proud of you." Shook my hand, and I said, "Oh my gosh, like that's my moment. That's my moment. I met the president, you know, thank you, like great." And then, you know, all of a sudden I realized I'm being pulled aside, and was fortunate enough to be able to meet with him in the Oval Office. And that's quite a
Did
surreal
you or your
moment.
parents ever imagine that, you know, you would be in the White House, in the Oval Office?
Of course, myself nor my parents ever imagined that. But to have that moment, I think that was the time when my parents first thought I had a legitimate job.
I know.
Okay, you actually did something.
But you know, that's how all Indian parents say, "Why are you doing that?" "No, you need to be a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer."
No, they do. And I think that's what's been so wonderful about kind of my journey is that to encourage young people that no matter what path you take, it is a possibility, because that's why our parents, and I'm sure you as well, have worked so hard to come to this country to provide the opportunities that you never had.
Absolutely,
and there isn't only one pathway to success.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching a Triple N talk show from Houston, Texas. We are coming to you live on YouTube and Google+. You can log on to our YouTube channel, NIK NIKAM, and also please do subscribe to our channel. And we have more than 700 videos accenting Indian experience here in the Houston area. And my special guest is, like they said, we take only 2 words, that is Miss America, Nina Davuluri. Ladies and gentlemen, okay, let's change gears and switch your life since you became Miss America during the last 12 months. let's talk about some of the journey you've gone through and some of the most interesting things that you have come
Oh my
across.
goodness. I mean, every day is so different. And I will say this, that my time as Miss America has officially ended, I should say.
Yeah.
You know, my time was from September 2013 to 14.
I see.
I've now been able to be a speaker and advocate as Nina Davuluri for the past 2.5 years, which I feel very lucky.
Yeah.
I've also, you know, I think I have a very unique niche in the sense that being the first Indian American, I've been able to bring attention and awareness to different groups and demographics that no one else of my predecessors have had.
That's
and I take that very seriously.
So being Miss America is almost like being a head of a state. Do you ever get to walk into McDonald's or coffee place and say, okay, I want a cup of coffee or a mocha or something like that?
Yes, I have been. Trust me, I've walked into my fair share of Taco Bells. Like, of course I have. And I've also walked into those similar places where I have been recognized.
Yeah.
And to have those kind of situations happen, you just realize that people are people, you know, regardless of who they are. And so no matter what, this is always what I say to college students, is that no matter who you meet, no matter where you're interviewing or kind of young people in general, that to remember that people are people, and to have a genuine conversation with someone is so much more meaningful than trying to act or be someone that you're not.
That's fascinating. And of course, Diwali is coming up in 3 days, and we are going to be celebrating Diwali at Minute Maid Park along with Sachin Tendulkar with the cricket match that's going to be held here in Houston. So that's why there's a lot of cricket fever here in the Houston area. So were you able to go to like Diwali festival or Navratri and just be able to dance like ordinary people, or
You know, my schedule has been so busy. I literally flew here from Cambridge, UK, yesterday. So my schedule is very busy. So it usually is event travel. So every other day I'm on a flight. I'm usually in a new city every 48 hours. And sometimes I wake up not knowing where I am days or what number my hotel room is. So it's a very difficult job, but it's also a very rewarding job. So unfortunately, I don't get to celebrate a lot of and hang out and do fun things.
Well, now you'll have a lot
there's
of
an
time
opportunity cost.
That's right. Oh, okay. What are the most memorable moments of your time
well, certainly,
as Miss America?
You know, aside from, you know, I think my year as Miss America was certainly memorable. I was able to meet with the president, the first lady, and that has continued even after my year. So I think the most memorable times that I've had is as being just, you know, Nina Davuluri. When the crown comes off your head, you become the person that you are.
I see.
And I think to have the impact that I've had, and also host a reception at with Prime Minister Modi at Madison Square Garden.
That's right. Yes.
Also be a part of his visit back to Silicon Valley, working with Girl Rising, incredible organizations, you know, just as myself, and having the crown come off your head is almost it's a testament to what you're going to do afterwards.
But you know, like president, they always say, you know, president, even 40 years after they have retired. So in that way, you're still Miss America. It's just a year 2014 that's added to the.
You're absolutely right. It will forever follow me.
That's right.
And it's an incredible honor, but also an incredible responsibility.
So how do you manage your hectic schedule, personal life? Do you have a personal life?
I don't have a personal life. I genuinely don't. And that's okay, because, you know, I love what I do right now, and to be able to interact with young people and spark that conversation is what I'm really proud to do.
So what about career?
Well, like I said, I'm applying for my MBA. I graduated already from my undergrad degree. I definitely see myself in the policy arena, also the political arena. Hopefully on track to being ambassador. We'll see where the cards fall. Many things have to happen for that to take place.
What about medicine?
Well, I initially was pre-med. I was actually in the process of applying to medical school when I won Miss America. And obviously, when you have a life-changing experience like this, you can go in a number of directions. And for me, I think my place is definitely in the nonprofit NGO sector, but also the policy political arena.
That's fascinating. Oh, okay, let's talk about what are some of your favorite foods and hobbies?
I have to say, okay, I'm very excited to be here, and I've been to Houston many times, but I have not had good Tex-Mex.
Yes.
And my favorite food is Mexican food. So I love cheese enchiladas with rice and beans. So hopefully I will get that at some point. As far as hobbies, I love tennis. Like I said, I grew up a dancer. And, you know, anything on Netflix, I mean, totally. Sundays,
That's right.
always Netflix days.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Triple N Talk Show. I am Dr. Nick Nikam. Hopefully, this is live video streamed. That's what it says here on our computer. But it's going to be videotaped and it's going to be put on YouTube and also on Google Plus. And my special guest is, without any elaborate description, it's Miss America, U.S. Miss America 2014.
Miss America, yeah.
I mean, Nina Davuluri. Okay, let's talk about, you must have received tons of gifts, cosmetics, and all kinds of souvenirs. So you must be good for a whole lifetime.
Yeah, it's actually very heartwarming because usually when I attend an event and when I'm speaking there, I always receive a small momentum of that event. So I always keep them and I travel with them and I usually ship them home to my parents' house. So in my room at my house, there's quite a few of those mementos that I can't get rid of because they all mean something very special to me.
Or maybe you can make a museum out of it. Like the presidents.
Maybe not a museum, but every time I'm home and I see them, it's always very endearing and it means a lot.
How has becoming Miss America changed you as a person?
Hopefully, obviously the experience changes you just in the amount of people that you meet and the interactions that you have and the voice that you have. But like I said, what I'm most proud of is that it's given me a voice to actually advocate for good and actually promote something that's positive and relevant. And beyond the title of Miss America.
Okay.
What I hope.
Okay, we got a few more minutes. Let's talk about your passions, the Children's Miracle Network and STEM project, and what other new projects you have embarked on.
I touched on Children's Miracle Network earlier. They're an incredible organization that we're so lucky to partner with. And I was actually in Dallas at the Children's Miracle Network Hospital there. But also, STEM education is a huge part of what I do personally. And so my degree STEM is Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. I personally had a STEM-related degree. Obviously, whatever, being Indian American. But there are many young women who actually compete on the Miss America stage. There's 60% of the young women who are on the Miss America stage are involved in STEM-related fields. I'm actually now a board member of the foundation board for the Miss America organization, one of the first Miss Americas to have that role. And for me, it was so important to be able to promote STEM because for many, many years, the Miss America organization has been known as a scholarship organization, which we are. Like I said, I've earned $92,000, which is no small amount of money. And I think to highlight specifically young women in STEM-related fields, especially when you don't see young women, particularly here in the U.S., who are role models. When you see a crown on someone's head, regardless if they're Miss America, Miss New York, Miss Syracuse, Miss Oklahoma, Miss Arkansas, whatever it might be, there is power in that. And so for those young women,
to use it positively.
And so for those young women who are involved in STEM-related fields, they absolutely should be rewarded for that. And so that's been a real focus that we've been focusing on for about 4 years now. And to take that to the next level has been really great.
That's fascinating. I'm a doctor and I spent all my life in medicine, and I have a great passion for education. And maybe one of these days, my dream is to put the entire grade 1 to grade 12 American education on YouTube so that anybody anywhere in the world can access it and learn American style of education.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully, that will happen. Okay, let's talk about, obviously every time, somebody becomes Miss America or Miss India or something, the next question is, do you have any movie or TV interest?
Oh my goodness, that question. So I think that's definitely more of an Indian stereotype that you enter a competition or a beauty pageant to win, to go into Bollywood, and that's completely respectable. For myself, Miss America is very different. We're a scholarship service-based organization. When you win this title, it's not to become famous; it's to actually serve your community.
The country.
And that's something that I've done. It's been very evident that I've done that. I've had the opportunity to actually travel back to India and do a media tour last year, December, January. And for me, I want to use my voice to actually spark change. I partnered with Girl Rising for that reason. We actually just launched a Girl Rising India campaign that I've worked very closely with Frida Pinto, Priyanka Chopra, Madhuri Dixit is also on that campaign. And to work alongside these celebrities who actually believe in the statement of educating the girl child. I would not be where I am today in America if it weren't for my education. And that's a message that I wholeheartedly believe in, and that's where I want to use my voice.
I know you certainly have done a great deal for, increasing the awareness of cultural diversity in this country. Maybe we can talk a couple of words about that and how you, as you said, you use our Indian heritage, culture, and tradition to actually accent your accomplishments in the last couple of years.
Absolutely. Like I said, in terms of my platform and my program, wasn't something I just woke up as Miss America and said, okay, I'm going to promote this now because I'm Indian. It was something that I started about 7 years ago and have now been able to promote. And so for me, this title has certainly enhanced what I believe in and how it's taken it to that different level. But I've spoken with almost 42 different colleges, universities, including Harvard, Princeton, Yale, Duke. I was just at University of Cambridge, I was telling you, in London, or Cambridge, UK. And so starting that more international chapter, I was traveled to Kenya in July with President Obama for the Global Entrepreneurship Summits, talking about social entrepreneurship. Many, interacted with Prime Minister Modi. So my program is not about, just this kind of one and done pretty face. It's actually about sparking change, being able to interact with influential individuals, and actually bringing that to the forefront of those discussions.
That's fascinating. Ms. Davuluri, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and we are delighted you were able to come on our program, and wish you good luck with all your future ventures.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much.